Ooh. This entire fight, and even that moment, is Neji hits Naruto and he stands up. And then the finishing blow is the first punch Naruto hits on this guy. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so last time we looked at some of the worst fights. This time, let's look at some of the most mid fights in Naruto.
Moving on to E tier, this is the last group of fights we have to cover before I feel we get to the truly great stuff. If I had to title this tier something aside from a letter, I'd probably give it good with an asterisk at the end.
Mickey. This sounds like Mickey tier. It's like, it's good, I guess. Naruto versus, oh my God, that's the definition of it. This is the definition of, I guess it could be good, Mickey. And I feel like this is a precedent of what this tier and what this video is going to be. A bunch of fights with that 1 to 2 moments, probably not even just straight up forgettable, but dog, come on. There's a ton of better fights out there.
Despite the fact that it's at the bottom, Naruto vs. Kiba is more or less representative of all the fights in this tier. I always have a good time with it and don't think it has any glaring issues, but I have a lot of small problems with it that keep me from enjoying it as much as I want to. The highlights of this fight, the Fang over Fang, the Uzumaki barrage, and Naruto's double transformation plan are all great. It's just paced weirdly. It drags in places where it really shouldn't, and sometimes comes to a complete stop. Way too much time is spent on Naruto getting up after being punched once, and that scene's also played like a big triumphant moment when, again, Naruto got hit and got up. That's all that happened. Like I said, though, these aren't major issues. The good definitely outweighs the bad here.
Kisame versus Team Guy, which one?
This fight has some of the coolest visual moments in the series and is extremely intense. I love Asaku Jaku. Kisame riding in on the wave is great, but I really don't like these fake Akatsuki clone fights. They feel like, and ultimately are, just wastes of time.
Yep. That's the other one. Yep, there it is. Not mad at this. Not mad at this.
It's a little bit difficult for me to decide which fight I like better out of the two, which is why they're so close together on the list here. But I think I prefer this one because I like Naruto and Kakashi's teamwork and find it more satisfying than Guy beating Kisame by himself. Asaku Jaku is dope, but it would have been neat to see Lee, Neji, and Tenten do something aside from getting trapped in water prison.
There's also more emotion in this fight. Hell, there's even potentially more stakes in this fight. A bunch of other things that you could argue even have impact later on in the series happen in this fight. This fight is definitely better than the other one, for sure. Unless you just think Guy is that much cooler, then go for it. Oh, I love this fight.
The only issue I have with
I'm about to say, why is this fight so low? This is funny. I ain't gonna lie. This is my same take with the Tenten Tamari thing that he did last time we reacted to him. Swag. Shit together, gang. Curb stomps are funny. But yeah, this was hilarious in showing how strong Obito is for no fucking reason.
This fight is that Fu and Torune are kind of whatever, but for a minor, like, side story B battle, this is pretty good. It's well choreographed and clever, and watching Obito fight anyone is always fun. It doesn't overstay its welcome either. It seems aware of its own unimportance. I'd probably put it higher if it was more meaningful, since it has practically no narrative implications. It's just carried by how cool it is.
Not too much. Oh, this jump where she makes Shawty hit the head on the wall? Yeah,
this
that's
one's
cool.
Short and pretty basic. In the manga, it's like 8 or 9 pages long, so there's not a lot to talk about here, but hey, it's Shikamaru, everybody likes Shikamaru, and this is a pretty good first outing for him. It sets up...
You know what? As a kid, I did not get it. I had to grow up to appreciate Shikamaru, but as a kid, I did not get why you motherfuckers was with a drag. I was like, shut your draggy ass up. You suck. I just thought he was boring as a kid. Do some of y'all think he's boring now? Naruto and Sakura versus Kakashi.
The manga version of this fight is quite a bit different than the anime version. It's shorter and isn't shown concurrently alongside other events. It all happens at once in the manga. It's weird because I have different problems with both of them. I think the anime version is too bloated and the manga version is a bit too short. That said, I still like what's here. It's a welcome opportunity to see how much Naruto and Sakura have grown since the first bell test in part 1.
Yeah, I'll be honest though. I kind of think of all the fights ranked thus far, I think this Naruto Kakashi Itachi fight, maybe it's just nostalgia talking, even though this whole thing is Naruto. I think that I'm moving that fight up above pretty much everything else mentioned thus far, to be honest. You know, it's not that I think it dwarfs the guy fight at all. They're in the same tier. But seriously, I think that fight was probably just a little bit cooler. Because all that happens during the bell test is Kakashi moves his hands really fast, and Sakura displays how just fucking strong she is for no reason. But other than that, and this is maybe a hot take, shouldn't be a hot take, the giant Rasengan never was all that to me. So at least if we're gonna have a Naruto giant Rasengan fight, at least let either the rage, like how the QB note, whatever that shit is when he got the red eyes and only the red eyes is, at least he had that with Itachi, and then more importantly the obvious emotional moments. Because just bigger Rasengan, I never was a fan of that shit. Hell, Jiraiya's bigger Rasengan is cooler than Naruto's bigger Rasengan. Oh,
this
yeah, this
isn't
is
how
fun.
we get introduced to Gaara, but it is the first time we get to see him in action, and it's awesome. It's
Yep.
against a bunch of nobodies, and
easy.
it's hard
Around
to
this
even
tier
call
for
it a
sure,
fight,
but
which is
it's
why
funny.
it isn't higher, but it's iconic for a reason.
Oh, thank God he doesn't have this fight too high. Oh my God, thank God he doesn't have this fight too high, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I think this fight, I don't think it's overrated because not a lot of people bring it up, but I definitely was like, well, but definitely one of the main reasons why I think the first arc of Shippuden really ain't all that is because if this is gonna be one of the bigger fights of the arc, if not the big fight of the arc, it's just so okay, bro. It's just so okay to me. There's some cool concepts, I know, keyboard warriors, but compared to all other fights in an amazing series like Naruto, this fight is so okay to me. And I'm just like, if this is like the biggest fight in terms of what's supposed to matter to the story, dog. Like, dog. I just was disappointed, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
This one's surprisingly short and anticlimactic for the final fight of the arc that it's in. It's like 2 chapters long, and it doesn't actually end up mattering since Deidara survives in the end. Overall, I like it though, and it has some great moments. We get to see Kamui for the first time, and by extension, this is how we learn that Kakashi can use the Mangekyo Sharingan. Plus, seeing Naruto lay the schmack down on Deidara always makes me happy.
Ooh. First off, CZ9, nice. Second, ooh. I know some of y'all hot. And let me tell you something now, gang. I already liked the video last time. I'm going to unlike it and like it again, nigga. I'm right with swag. Naruto versus Neji may have been the most destructive fight to the Naruto-verse I've ever seen, but we're not even going to go just down the route of Neji was right, Neji was right. He was wrong, but Neji was right. We're not even going to do that, right? Dog, all it is 2 palms, 4 palms, 8 palms, 64 palms. That's all it is. This entire fight, and even that moment, is Neji hits Naruto, and he stands up. Neji hits Naruto even more, and he stands up again. Neji shuts off his chakra points. Guess he'll just stand up again. And then the finishing blow is the first punch Naruto hits on this guy. I'm not gonna lie. I appreciate the story being told. I love the 2 characters involved. I do think that it's higher than everything else we've talked about. But goddamn, I remember there was a point in time where this fight was looked at like a top 10 head honcho fight, and I never got it then. I'm glad more people are starting to see what this fight really was. But I know there's some people that are going to be like, what do you mean? Neji was a genius and it's all peak. Yeah, nah, bro. You just take off the red and white 3Ds, man.
Channel veterans, you may be surprised by how high this fight is on the list. Those of you who are new here, some time ago I made a video titled The Worst Fight in Naruto, and this fight was the subject. Now, in my defense, I did say that I thought it was only the worst major fight in Naruto.
Correct.
Because I had some what I thought were insightful things to say about it, and didn't want to talk about, like, team guy versus team guy or whatever. Obviously, my opinion of it has improved since then, because it's all the way up here at number... It's slipping my mind. I don't remember what number we're on. But anyway, there is a lot to like about this fight. Neji's extremely cool and imposing, and the 64 palms is one of my favorite jutsu in the series. But everything that I said I didn't like about the fight in that video still applies for the most part. In a fight where the subtext is that Naruto's trying to prove to Neji that fate and gifts aren't absolute, it really sucks that he goes from failing to land a single hit on Neji before he uses the Nine Tails chakra to beating Neji in one punch after he uses its chakra. I think the broad stroke story...
And the worst part is, like, even when y'all go to the Neji is right cornball take, I can't get mad at you for thinking that, because, like, damn, you did a bad job of, like, misguiding the audience. Like, I'm not Mr. Naruto, okay? I don't think I'm smarter than 90% of people. But let me be clear. The fact that, like, a good 80-90% of people think that Neji was right, I can't do nothing about it when they damn near... do their damnness to show you how the motherfucker was right. like you've made a damn good case for it. It's just a case that you have to continue to finish. You have to go down to the last page to be like, so it's not the case. But damn, bro, it's a fight, bro, for sure.
Storytelling and theming here is good, and the fight has some visually spectacular moments, but in execution, it's
I don't even know if I agree with that. I'll say that. Kisame Killer B.
This fight starts off strong and falls
Neji.
off as soon as Kisame traps B in the bubble. That part's
exactly
pretty boring, and in the anime specifically is really long. I love the beginning, like I said, the pencil moment, Kisame getting his chest ripped open by B. It's all great, but there's such a steep drop-off around the halfway point that I don't think I can put this fight any higher than this.
Yeah, I put it lower. Ooh.
It's awesome that we get to see Itachi and Sasuke fight side by side before the end of the series, and Kabuto is a solid enough villain, but aside from that, the fight doesn't do anything to wow me, and Izanami is a pretty lame way to wrap it up.
I do see where you're coming from. At first, I was going to be like, what the fuck, you're drunk? But the more I really think about it, this fight is Itachi saves Sasuke, Itachi saving Sasuke, Itachi saving Sasuke. Oh my God, look at that little dragon. That's pretty fucking cool. Itachi saving Sasuke. Now, I do think I'd have this fight a bit higher because I think Kabuto's jutsu is fucking cool. I know I just said, ooh, a dragon, but the idea that he was changing the tavern to just, like, inwardly stab people, I think that was fucking cool. Izanami being a bad way to end the fight. I could see it visually being anticlimactic, but like in terms of power scaling, Itachi makes him fucking broken. So it's like, okay, I'm not mad at this. I would have it a bit higher, but not too much higher. So I'm not mad at this. Let's get some more mid chat. Here we go. Hey.
All right, so this is where we start to get to the really good stuff. I don't really have any problems with any of the fights from here on out. I think they're all excellent. If any issues do come up, they'll likely be small or massively overshadowed by what I think the fight does right.
So this is good, no asterisk. Talk to me. Okay, solid start.
I figured this fight would make a good benchmark for around this point in the list.
Solid start.
It's solid, doesn't have any glaring problems, and does exactly what it sets out to do.
It's just like, okay,
it's good
from
top to bottom. It's got tons of great moments, like Iruka outsmarting Mizuki, Iruka protecting Naruto from the shuriken, and Naruto making however many shadow clones this is.
This is literally like a good start to this tier. It's literally like, what would you say bad about the fight? I mean, I guess it just could have done more. Like, this is literally this whole tier. It's like, oh, a good fight. Yup. A lot of early Naruto should be here.
This is another short one with some no-name bad guys, but despite that, it manages to be pretty good. The choreography here is spectacular, and the events provide characterization for the main cast that's welcome and still very necessary this early on in the series. It also sets up the encounter with Zabuza, and in doing so, creates the framework for the entire rest of the arc going forward.
Yeah, if I had to be, a lot of early Naruto should be in this tier because a lot of early Naruto has those fights or those moments that set up, hey, this is how strong this character is. Hey, this is what this character can do. So I think a lot of early Naruto is going to be in D tier. Yup, Shino. For sure.
I wish I could say this fight was more important, but narratively it doesn't accomplish much.
Not at all.
Zaku gets an off-screen death shortly after this, and Shino is outside of a fight I put all the way down in G tier, practically never relevant again. But despite that, this fight is still really cool, especially in the manga. The anime version gets dragged down hard by some backstory for Zaku that I couldn't care less about, but I really like everything else, and there's one moment in particular that carried the fight this high, and that's Zaku blowing up his arms from the inside after Shino plugged up the hole.
Oh, shit. Oh, this pollen. Oh, man. Damn, bro. Well, first of all, bless me. Shit. Is that narcissistic? But second of all, man, comment pollen is kicking y'all ass, man. I'm dying recording this video. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, all that extra shit. Just as a thank you, because, oh, my Lord.
Holes in his hands.
Yup. Look, I was going to say it. I swear. Look. I mentally thought, should I say something about Sasuke Rock Lee being in this tier? Well, I was like, nah, the chatters are going to be like, oh, this is like B tier. No. This is like literally the qualification. I'm not going to lie. He said Naruto versus Mizuki. I think this is the benchmark of what this tier is. Good fight, memorable, outside of literally good fight, memorable, but like, would I really sit there and be like, peak? No, it's two characters I really care about, but it's showcasing what Rock Lee can do, where Sasuke has developed to, and where he needs to reach. It's a good fight, enjoyable fight, but nothing to brag about. This is like I think this would be the highest for me in this tier. Maybe that's just because I care about Rock Lee and Sasuke more than probably was going to be here, but yeah, this is literally in this tier. I think this is the definition of what this tier is.
The only thing that sucks about this fight is that it doesn't actually end. It's a little inconclusive, but that's not really a problem, because that's kind of how it had to be. Lee stopping short of actually using the primary Lotus on Sasuke, that makes sense. After all, the purpose of this fight was to introduce and hype up Rock Lee and to get the audience excited to see what he was going to do next. And by the way, don't think this even needs to be said, but it did a good job. Setting aside all the meta-narrative stuff, it's also just a great fight, even if it is a little short. The scene of Sasuke getting kicked in the face is iconic for a reason.
Yep. Core Division versus former Kage.
This one's long, and the quality is a bit inconsistent, but considering both the high points and the low points, I think this is where it averages out to. There are some sections I find dull or underwhelming, and because of how many characters are present, it does feel a bit bloated at times, but the highlights make up for that. There's some really cool stuff that happens in this fight, and Naruto versus the Third Raikage specifically is awesome.
Yeah, I think I'm having that lower only because Naruto versus the Third backpacks. Okay.
I'll admit right from the beginning here that this one's placement has less to do with the action and more to do with the context of the scene.
Yeah,
now, don't get me wrong, there are some striking visuals in this fight. In particular, I'm a huge fan of the panel where Sasuke first enters second state. But if I'm being honest, as like a fight, it's not better than some of the stuff I have it ahead of. Getting to see Orochimaru's body-stealing ritual for the first time is incredible though, and I think the sheer catharsis of Sasuke finally beating Orochimaru and eliminating the looming threat of him having his body stolen is enough to get it this high.
I respect it, but I would say everything you've explained is the reason it's lower. But I respect the decision. Sasuke Yoroi, is that the dude where he uses Lion's Barrage?
I like Sasuke. I know this fight is probably way higher than a lot of you would put it, but I really do think this is where it belongs. Yeah, it's the third highest fight of the Chunin exam preliminaries, but it's great. The Lion's Barrage is awesome, and I like the dynamic presented by Yoroi's ability to absorb chakra. I also think it acts as a neat bit of foreshadowing. Sasuke's decision to activate the Sharingan even when under the threat of the curse mark shows he's willing to risk destroying his own body in pursuit of his goals, much like his decision to train with Orochimaru, even though by doing so he risks having his body stolen. And just like how he's able to suppress the curse mark and eventually defeat Yoroi, Sasuke is able to stop Orochimaru from stealing his body before using his training to hunt down and kill Itachi. I don't know if this was intentional or not, but if it was, it's an extremely cool parallel.
Probably. Kakashi Kabuto?
This one's
did
really
fight.
short. The shortest one that's managed to sneak up this high for sure. But the action is great, the encounter is intense, and it's between two characters that I enjoy watching. Is it too high? Maybe a little, but I'm not moving it down.
Yeah, that's way too high, though, I'll admit. That's probably like, I'd probably say the bottom of this tier. I'd probably put it at the bottom of this tier. Have Naruto, Mizuki move up. Have Rock Lee, Sasuke go to the top thus far. Whoa, this fight's here? Oh, I gotta hear this. Neji Hinata's kind of a banger.
This fight's pacing suffers because it frequently gets interrupted for the sake of exposition dumping. But when Neji and Hinata are fighting each other, it's super entertaining. Plus, the information we get out of this is really important. It's practically vital going forward. As a character moment for Neji, Hinata, and even for Naruto, I think this fight excels too. So even though I have a handful of issues with it, I really, really like it in spite of them.
Yeah, I mean, Naruto's a great series, so maybe there's genuinely 57 better. Well, there ain't 57 better fights than that. But damn. I don't know. I feel like he was still harsh on that fight, though. The exposition, that's a good point. Yeah, fair. No cap. It is telling you a story. If you're watching it for the second time over, it's a lot of, all right, bro. 10-second skip. That's why I was tapping on my desk just now. It's a lot of 10-second skip. 10-second skip. But, like, it just looks good, and Neji's kind of a dick in this fight. Like, even more of an asshole in this fight than he was to Naruto. Then Hinata pushes Neji's buttons, pisses him the fuck off when he's like, I used to be like you once. No, she doesn't say that directly, but you know, she pushes Neji's button in this fight as well, almost dies for it. I love the ending to the fight as well. I don't know. I don't know. I think that fight's probably a lot higher. Kisame, my guy. Okay, see,
I'll admit not a whole
in this fight being here lets me know that maybe Naruto's just way more cracked than I think.
lot happens in this fight. It's really just Guy and Kisame throwing a couple big stupid attacks back and forth at each other.
Look fucking cool.
All I really needed to convince me to put it this high was getting to see Hirudora and the 7th gate for the first time.
It's really fucking cool. What do you want me to do? Rock Lee, Sakura, Team 10, and Sasuke versus Dozu, Ken, and Zaku.
This one's intense and very scary.
This
when
fight.
I first saw this as a kid, I was genuinely concerned that Sakura and Lee were going to get themselves killed. I don't think there are any low points here. Every section of this fight is good, even the Sakura section. I know not everybody's going to agree with that, but I enjoy watching her use the substitution jutsu this creatively to outsmart the sound ninja. Getting to see more from...
She used it and then bit somebody. And it would have been one thing if she bit somebody, got knocked off, and then did some other shit. But what I think they ruined Sakura's character, one of the first character assassination attempts of Sakura, is having her bite Shorty and then just keep getting hit and then flashback and then just keep getting hit, then let go GG's. If they had let Sakura get knocked the fuck off and then she tried something else, knocked the fuck off, tried something else, and then, all right, KO, GG's. I think that would have done a lot better for us feeling like she matters. But she did just feel a little useless when all she could do was just bite somebody. It was like,
From Lee and the Inoshika Cho trio is also welcome, but the real highlight of this fight is Sasuke waking up with an active curse mark at the end and using it to blow Zaku down.
Broke cuz legs. Well, next time we're going to get into the literal mid-tier. Well, we have just passed mid, ladies and gentlemen. Next time on Dragon Ball Z or Naruto. Next time on Naruto Ball Z, we'll be looking at the good, not great fights. Comment below if you guys think one of these fights got ultra hold. Comment if you think one of the fights from the bad video are low-key better than one of the fights from the mid video. But it's been your boy TSO Sage. Take care and stay blessed. We'll see you all next time.